Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about Biden and foreign policy and things that seem to be contradictory when it comes to what the U.S. is doing and how the U.S. is pursuing things. And we'll talk about parallel tracks and how things work in conjunction, even though they appear to be in opposition. Because basically, there's a whole lot of things going on from different aspects of the U.S. government, and it is leading to confusion. Okay, can you explain what Biden's doing? He's holding Israel to a ceasefire, but then saying there won't be a ceasefire until they get the people who were taken back. Then he's moving the military in. Can you please explain this? Okay, first, there is no ceasefire. Biden is trying, and again, Biden doesn't call the shots here. This is Israel. Biden is trying to get Israel to delay any potential ground offensive until the captives are returned. That's one thing that he's doing. A ground offensive, delaying a ground offensive, is not the same thing as a ceasefire. There hasn't been a ground offensive this entire time. These are definitely not ceasefire conditions. So there's that part. So he's, on one hand, telling Israel, hey, we need to get those people back. Don't go in yet. Then, talking to Palestinian forces, he's saying, hey, look, give me the people back, and then we can talk to them about a full-on ceasefire. That's what's going on there. They seem contradictory. They're not. It's two very different things. Ground offensive, that means tanks, artillery, APCs, boots on the ground inside Palestinian territory. That's what that is. That's bad. My personal opinion is that that should be avoided at pretty much all costs. That is, to me, it's a horrible idea. A ceasefire is a complete stopping of all fire. It ceases fire. So you have that going on. That is State Department, the Biden administration pursuing diplomatic foreign policy. Then you have the military moving in, moving assets, stationing assets, turning, like putting advisors out, putting air defense stuff up, all of this. That is in case the other stuff goes wrong. This is literally give peace a chance and I'll cover you in case it doesn't work out. That's what's going on. Using diplomacy first is how it's supposed to be done. We haven't seen that in a really long time. That's why it looks so weird. So the risks associated with this. What he's doing now, not much. His main goal is to try to stop the conflict from widening. That's like from a foreign policy perspective, that's the most important thing for the Biden administration, for the U.S. That's what is front and center. The diplomatic efforts are aimed at doing that. Because if they could, let's say, get the captives back, okay, they get those people back, they can turn to Israel and be like, look, there's no reason to go in. You don't need to do the ground offensive. Look, here they are, you know. If they can delay the ground offensive long enough, the Israeli military may start to kind of let cooler heads prevail. And the ground offensive is the thing that is the most likely spark that would cause it to widen. So there's a lot of focus on stopping that. And then All of the military moves are to deter non-state actors from entering and to position in case it does get wider. The United States has just a massive maze of military installations all over the world. And when things go regional, they're lightning rods. They tend to take hits. Then you have the U.S. diplomatic presence all over the world. That is also a frequent lightning rod as well. So the U.S. has a lot of exposure, even though, at least for the time being, the U.S. isn't involved. That's his moves. That's what's going on. It's not contradictory. It's working parallel tracks at the same time, hoping one works out so the other one doesn't have to be used. And again, realistically, I know everybody in the world looks at the U.S. and, well, they call the shots. Not here. Not here. The opinions that matter are in Tel Aviv and Tehran. That's where the critical decisions about this are going to be made. So there's also probably an element of the Biden administration wanting to stop any potential ground offensive because that long-term strategic plan for the Middle East that most of the world has, where it's deprioritized and the U.S. kind of focuses elsewhere and moves out, if this sparks and widens, that's gone. That's gone. And again, it's bad for everybody. So there's a lot riding on the decisions that are being made right now. And I think it's way more than most people really understand. So I personally would like to see more pressure about not engaging in a ground offensive. But maybe that pressure is behind the scenes. The fact that some of it is coming out into the public when the U.S. and Israel have the relationship that they've had for so long, that's kind of an indication that there is a lot being said behind the scenes, but we don't know how much. And short of somebody leaking it, we may never know. But that's the rough sketch of what's going on. Trying to appeal and say, look, if you give us the people, maybe we can stop it. And telling Israel, hey, wait for us to get the people. And then hopefully if the people are actually retrieved, then there's no reason to go in. But moving in forces in case things do go sideways. It's all positioning. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.